Good afternoon. Welcome to Fantastic Fridays with Father Pat. I'm just so thrilled to be able to share with you again. I want to talk today about retirement. This is supposedly a home for retired people. Some, like myself, in assisted living, where they take good care of us, every little thing we need. And then independent living also in the same place, but we're mixed up meals and whatnot. We can entertainment. We all mingle together. But the whole thing is, it's a place the world would see as a retirement home. You know, go there to retire. What does it mean to retire? Well, the world would say, you're done work, you're done this, you're done that. Basically, we're put out to pasture. I've come to see that with God, there's no such thing as retirement. I'm busier here at the Villa de San Antonio than I ever was, and I love it. I love it. The whole purpose of my being here, I didn't plan it. I didn't have any idea. I had no intention to retire. And then I got sick with the cancer and whatnot, and ended up staying at my sister's 20 or so miles from here. And they asked me to come here for a mass. I came for a mass and fell in love with the place. I just fell in love. First of all, the chapel, there's not a step, nothing to trip on. And with my blindness and my physical disabilities, that meant a heck of a lot. I couldn't believe it. I looked all over the chapel, even into the sacristy, looking for a step I could trip on, and there was none. And then we were invited to come for lunch. God rest her, Beverly Freeman was the one who had invited us to come. So we came and came into the dining hall for lunch. It's like a restaurant. Waiters, waitresses, everything. I couldn't believe. Near the end of the meal, I turned to my sister and I said, I'm moving in. I didn't get any recruitment speech to come or nothing. Just seeing the place and the laughter, the joy, it was just a fantastic experience. My sister cried. She said, I thought you were going to be with us your dying day. And I said, well, I thought that was my plan, but I think he's got a better plan. And so came for an interview with Roger, trying to think of his name. And we talked, and he said, well, which would you want, the assisted living or? I said, tell me what's assisted living. Now, you're talking to a man who's lived independently. In New York, I was always, look at Brother Pat, he's independent, he needs no one. That was my name of my game. I went all over the world speaking on living with disabilities, and always my independence. And I get here, and Roger asks, what do you want, independent living or assisted living? And it was a rare, not rare, because his graces aren't rare, but it was a rare one that I listened to probably. I said, maybe it's time I take some assisted living. And so that I moved here in this very apartment. And I've never regretted it. I've been here, it's going to be 3 years, September 1st, just a month and a half from now. And I don't have a single regret. Absolutely love it. The staff and the fellow residents, it's just, it's magnificent. We've come now through the pandemic, the whole pandemic. This little quarters was my igloo. I never left. You know, our meals were served in our rooms, everything. And so this was it. But now, the last couple of weeks, we've broken out, so to speak, and beautifully into normal living, and it's fantastic. I just come up from the dining hall with lunch with a couple and a single gal who lives here. It's magnificent. I go in there and order my meal, and it's a phenomenal experience. Living here has taught me, though, that there's no such word as retirement. Retirement is quitting. I haven't been able to quit. All during the pandemic, we couldn't have a priest in. Ordinarily, that's what keeps us alive spiritually. And I was the only priest resident, and I went to our dear Rick. I said, when are we going to open the chapel again? I thought we were going to become an insane asylum. And he went and called the owners in California. No, you can't have a Catholic mass. No, you can't. It won't work. Bringing in too many people. No, we'll go by your rules, Rick said. And I just loved it. He said, you say it's only 6, 7 people at a time, we'll do that. We'll live by your rules. We'll separate so that there's no problem. And, yeah, but you got to bring in a priest. He says, no, we don't. We've got a priest who lives here in assisted living. You got a priest who lives there in assisted living? He's disabled? Yeah. He's blind. Well, how does he celebrate Mass? Well, he has a talking computer, and he memorizes it and then comes down and celebrates for us. And the permission we were given was, as long as the blind priest celebrates, you can have Mass every day. I cried. My blindness has been a gift. I was blinded in 1953 from meningitis, and it never stopped turning corners where I see, oh my gosh, it's a gift again. It's a gift again. And it sure has been a gift here. It helped us with our beautiful staff here to get through this pandemic. And near the end of the pandemic, I didn't see it all happening, but my health was breaking down. And thank God for our staff. They one by one, okay, you don't have to do these masses anymore. Okay, you don't have to do this one. No, you don't have to do this. You don't have to. And I was relieved 6 weeks ago or so, or 8 weeks ago, whatever. I was relieved from all of my duties. I attended the masses with the others, but they were able to have visiting priests in again, and it's given me a whole new lease on life. Thought I was done, time to retire. No. We have a wine down once a month or so, and everybody gets together with a glass of wine, whatnot, and we gab, and it's fun. And it was at that one of those that Natalie, one of the salespeople here came to me with a glass of wine in her hand, and I had one in mine. She says to me, Father Pat, how would you like to be a storyteller for us? We need a story once a month. I said, a storyteller? That's how my work started way back in the 70s. I was a storyteller in New York City. I'd go from nursing home to nursing home, telling stories to inspire the residents to pick up and go on. And I was invited to be a storyteller. It was incredible. So we started this fantastic Fridays with Father Pat. And we can't believe how it's gone over. Not only here, we had hoped it would go apartment to apartment to inspire the residents, but it's gone all over the world. I've gotten calls from Ireland, from all over Canada, from all over the States, because of this fantastic Fridays with Father Pat. I came to understand very beautifully I'm not retired. Even though, because of the disabilities and whatnot, they beautifully got other priests to come in to do the masses. But it's like God said, oh no, you aren't going to sit there and do nothing. You aren't retired. You don't retire here. You're still working for me. I just love this place. I talk to people and I say, you want a place to come? This is the place to come. The food is the best. And the meals, the service, I should say, everything. No such thing as retirement with God. Retirement is you're put out to pasture. And God says, you ain't going out to pasture till you come home to heaven. So I'm thrilled to be here. It's the best place I've moved in my life. And if anything from this little chat is you don't worry about retirement. You know, my eyes have gotten worse, my limbs are going, and yet He has found ways to keep me working. There's no such thing as retirement with God. Retirement means He doesn't need us anymore. And I found out God needs us every day. May He bless all of you, our listeners today, and give you that courage to keep on. It's not what you do for God that's important, but what you let God do for you. Thank you, and God bless you.